Welcome to Transport Vlog. My name is Paul and I'm back at Trains Facility South. So this is going to be an update on all the work that is happening here, also at Marrickville Dive Site and at Sydenham Station as well. Here is a quick recap for anyone that is new here. Sydney Metro currently runs from Tallawong to Chatswood. The main maintenance facility, which is called Trains Facility North, is at Tallawong. The line is currently being extended from Chatswood to Sydenham, and a smaller stabling and light maintenance area, known as Trains Facility South, is being built just east of Sydenham Station. From Sydenham, Sydney Metro will take over the existing T3 rail line to Bankstown. Here is a map of the planned track layout and buildings for Trains Facility South. The tracks in black have already been laid. The big change here since my last update in January 2022 is the beginnings of the installation of overhead wire equipment. This one here has two vertical masts, often known as stanchions, and a horizontal gantry for the future overhead catenary. You can also see the rails waiting to be laid and some concrete pillars appearing just here. This footage is taken from the Marrickville Metro Shopping Centre car park on the 26th of March. At the end of the stabling area there are 8 masts in total, so that's one for each siding. The only sleepers I could see are here. Many more will be needed before track laying can commence. Here is a closer view of the new rails. These 2 masts are probably for the North East shunt track and the North East access track. Now more masts and gantries appearing for the sidings. As you can hear, it is quite windy, so this zoomed in footage is a little shaky. This one here looks huge. It's probably long enough for the 8 sidings plus the northeast access track and the line to the maintenance buildings. The logistics building is in front. I'll talk more about that in a moment. Over here, it's interesting that the overhead wire masts and gantries have appeared before the ballast. There is lots of earthwork happening at this location where the points into Trains Facility South will be. This is to achieve the correct levels for the track bed. With this work currently ongoing, I think it will be a few weeks before we see the all-important junctions. Here is a view of the end of the sidings from Bedwin Road. You get a different view of the overhead wire structures from here as well. And here is a closer view of the tracks waiting to be laid. I still haven't found a supply of sleepers yet, but I'll keep looking. The buildings within Trains Facility South have really progressed since my last video. I'll start with the fire control room and reception building. Back in January, it was just the concrete foundations. Now it's really beginning to take shape, with the brick walls and space for doors and windows. This is how the logistics building is now looking. This is basically a covered external storage area that can house parts and mobile maintenance equipment. It has 4 openings, 2 on either side. As you can see, this building looks more or less finished. Back in January, it was just a metal frame, so it has come along massively since then. Now coming into view is the beginnings of the workshop building. Construction of this workshop building had barely started back in January. Now you can see the metal frame and 2 brick structures appearing below it. At the moment it looks quite similar to how the logistics building was back in January, with only its metal frame. I think this small building here will be part of the workshop. Here is a view of the workshop building construction from Sydney Steel Road, and also part of the admin building to the right of it. And this is how the admin building is now looking. Behind the admin building, work continues on the groundwater treatment plant buildings. Here are some more views of the groundwater treatment plant buildings from Garden Street. At the other end, the high voltage and services buildings are part of Marrickville Dive Site and the overall operation of Sydney Metro. This is the high voltage building, and this is the services building. The high voltage building has these 2 white structures that look like porter cabins. This is how they look from the other side. Notice the concrete slab that elevates the services building. If you know why this is necessary, do share this in the comments below. Here is a view of how the new services building is looking from the other side. Still to come is on-train and on-plane footage and an update on Sydenham Station. So keep watching. No further track has been laid since my update in January 2022, so the tracks in black show what is currently in place. In my January video, I really geeked out on the track and showed you in detail where all the points and crossovers currently are. I won't do that this time, however a quick recap on my track names will help you with the on-train footage. So we have the northbound Sydney Metro line to Waterloo and the southbound line towards Sydenham. This extra line that you will see shortly is the South West Shunt track. This line that follows the existing rail corridor is the North East Shunt track. And the line that goes into Trains Facility South from this side is called the North East Access track. These are my names. If you know the official names, do let me know in the comments or by email to paul@transportvlog.com. Now on a train leaving Sydenham and going towards St Peters. The platform screen doors are beginning to appear on platforms 1 and 2. I'll show you some closer views of these towards the end of this video. The South West Shunt track is here, and these track maintenance vehicles are on the northbound Metro line. The crossover junction is here. The northbound line still has the maintenance train on it, and the southbound line is here. The junction to the South West Shunt track, the North East Shunt track and Trains Facility South are in front of the pumping station building. These overhead wire masts are for the future access tracks into Trains Facility South. This is the North East Shunt track, which currently ends at this overhead wire mast. At the start of the descent, the southbound line has a track maintenance train on it. Behind the dive site, you can now see the masts and the super long gantries for the sidings. This mast is for the North East Access track, which is on this concrete track bed that is coming into view now. The North East Access track joins the North East Shunt track just here. You might have noticed that this train switched over to the Up Illawarra line earlier. This is normally used by T4 services. As a result, you get a different view of this area to normal. The electrification masts or stanchions for the North East Shunt track are now in place. Now on a train from St Peters going towards Sydenham. As you can see, this train is on the down Illawarra line. In this direction I'm going to focus more on the new buildings, but we'll point out other track and electrification items of interest as well. Here is the on-train view of the high voltage building, and now the services building, and now the fire control building and the logistics shed with its two openings on this side. The North East Shunt track will be immediately on the other side of this fence. No track as yet, but the electrification masts are appearing. This is how the workshop looks from this side. And this is the admin building with a protective cover over most of this side. Now you can see the earthworks to achieve the final ground levels. And here are the two buildings that are part of the groundwater treatment plant. This train is about to switch tracks to enter platform 4 at Sydenham Station, hence the slow speed. The North East Shunt track is visible here and is now about to join the southbound Metro line. Here is the maintenance train on the northbound line again. And now the back of platform 2 as this train comes into Sydenham Station. This platform will be used for Sydney Metro trains going towards Bankstown. So that's the end of the on-train footage, but this time I also have some on-plane footage. So this is what this whole area looks like from the air. You can see the ballast for the sidings and the logistics shed clearly. The tunnel entrance is here and the track bed for the northeast access track is here. The tracks on the tunnel approaches are clearly visible as well. This is how the HV and services buildings look from above. This Google aerial image was taken in 2018. You can see that the entrances to the two tunnels are just before Bedwin Road. Since then, a roof has been added to allow the HV and services buildings and the northeast access track to run over the top. From the air, you also get an excellent view of Sydenham Station, Sydenham Pit, the new aqueduct and the Heritage Pumping Station building. In 2024, Sydney Metro will use this line to continue to Bankstown. Thanks to Joseph for sending these to me. These were taken in early February. So the next time you're flying into Sydney from this direction, do take some photos or video and email them to paul@transportvlog.com and I can include them in a future video. Talking of planes, it's been a while since we've seen one of these. So now back at Sydenham Station, and here is a closer look at the new platform screen doors appearing on platforms 1 and 2. This one has the two doors fitted, and so does this one, and this one too. This is the last set of doors for platform 1. This was taken from Railway Parade through the glass screens. Finally, at the new Burrows Avenue entrance, the train information displays are switched on, but no one is watching them yet, except for me. So this brings you bang up to date with all the work that is happening at Sydenham Station, Marrickville Dive Site and Trains Facility South. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a like, give it a thumbs up, do leave a comment or question below and I'll do my best to answer any questions. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also check out my perks on Patreon. This is a really good way to support this channel and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.